Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Wayne's World of Science and Technology. Today we're going to talk about de-globalization. Peter Zeihan has for a while been making a big noise about how he thinks the United States is going to withdraw from global responsibility and basically stop patrolling sea lanes. The United States has the biggest navy in the world at the present time. I know people say China's is bigger, but when you look at the Chinese ships, a lot of them are very small. The U.S. has a lot of big stuff. If the United States stops patrolling the sea lanes, other countries are going to get involved. This is something that Peter doesn't seem to talk about a lot, and it's something that needs to be considered. There are countries, of course, that won't get involved. Switzerland and Mongolia, for example, have no blue water borders. They really can't do a lot to protect the sea lanes. On the other hand, countries like Britain have basically water all around. They need transport. France has got two coastlines, Mediterranean and the Atlantic. They do a lot of foreign trade. So does Italy. Italy's mainly concerned about the Mediterranean, but they're there and they do a lot of foreign trade. Turkey is very interested in all of the Eastern Mediterranean, the Black Sea, and to a certain extent the Red Sea. You've got countries like Canada, who basically Canada runs two fleets at the current time. We're in the process of standing up a third. We have an Atlantic fleet, a Pacific fleet, and now we're going for an Arctic fleet since the north is melted so much that we need ships up there. It's even more fun for somebody like Russia, who I don't really see as being much help on the globalization front from one point of view, but from another point of view, they do have bases. Russia has bases on the Black Sea, the Baltic Sea, the Sea of Murmansk, and a base in Vladivostok. Basically, they've got four large bases which are available and could be used if the Russians decided to help keep the sea lanes open. Iran, for all their noise about maybe cutting off the Gulf, are not likely to do it. Iran relies on trade as well. As a matter of fact, to a certain extent, I think you could expect Iran to protect trade. It's in their interests. They may not agree with everybody. They may not like Canada. They may not like the United States. They definitely don't like Israel. But the thing is that they need trade. Without trade, Iran can't survive. And at least not long term. Yeah, they can survive for a short time, but long term, without trade, they die. That's just the way it is. Iran relies too much on imports and exports to survive. The same is very true of India. India has a huge export industry. They need the sea lanes open. China, who is supposedly the big problem, and yes, they are definitely an issue. I trust China about as far as I can throw them, and since I'm not Hercules, I can't throw them very far. But China does a lot of business with the rest of the world. They have an interest in keeping the sea lanes open. If things get closed off, things could get very bad in China. And when I say very bad, if you look at their imports, they import a huge amount of food, they import a huge amount of hydrocarbons. They're trying to cut down their dependency on this, but that could be difficult. And there's also the fact that a lot of people's jobs are tied up in shipping stuff worldwide. So, yeah, China kind of needs to keep the sea lanes open unless they want millions of people on the unemployment line. Actually, could be tens of millions considering how big the country is. I don't see de-globalization going as far as stopping trade. I do see some countries possibly trying to take advantage, but I also see them getting smacked down. It's one thing to pull an invasion to change a government like what was done in Iraq. It's another thing totally to sit back and toss a couple missiles at the warship that just is trying to grab one of your merchants. That's a different matter. So I strongly suspect that Peter's worries about de-globalization are maybe just a touch overblown, because he is so focused on the United States, which is not surprising. He lives in the United States. He does a lot of consulting work for people in the United States. It's going to be his main focus, just like my main focus is going to be Canada, because that's my country. And I think that his focus on the United States is causing him to miss the forest for the trees, effectively. He's seeing something that probably won't happen, because there are too many other people who have a vested interest in making sure it doesn't happen. Anyways, that's it for now, folks. Like, share, subscribe, and all that guffy guts out. And have a good day.